Hello. Thanks for joining us again on the channel. Okay, yes, we've reviewed a lot of these. Too many, probably. But trust me, this one stands out. It caught me off guard, in a good way. Before we get started, there's a special discount if you're interested. The link is in the description and also in the top comment. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer was looking to upgrade their home network from an older 3-node mesh system. While their previous setup handled a large number of devices, the speeds were becoming less than desirable, and coverage was spotty in the far corners of the house. After looking at various options, our reviewer settled on this new mesh system, with the goal of finally blanketing their entire home in a strong, consistent signal. The transition to the new hardware was remarkably smooth. Before starting, this client took screenshots of all their old network settings, like port forwarding rules and custom DNS servers, to make the process easier. The initial setup of the main router node was surprisingly fast, with the internet being down for only about 10 minutes. Our reviewer was immediately impressed, noting that even this single node provided a much stronger signal throughout the house than the old system, reaching a bedroom that had always been a problem area. Proceeding with the plan, they added several more nodes both upstairs and downstairs. This proved to be a good decision, as speed tests confirmed it was necessary to maintain top performance in the furthest rooms. In one case, they used a node's wired connection for an older computer with a weak Wi-Fi card, which worked perfectly. The only minor hiccup was an old laptop that couldn't initially see the new network, an issue quickly resolved with a simple driver update. In the end, the entire setup took less than 2 hours. The coverage is now so robust that our reviewer hasn't even found a need for the final node in the box, with a powerful signal reaching every part of the home and even the garage. For anyone who wants a modern, reliable system that just works without being the absolute latest tech, this mesh system has proven to be a fantastic choice.
Cool. Let's uncover what our next reviewer has to say.
This reviewer found the performance of this mesh Wi-Fi system to be quite impressive, especially for tasks within their own home network. They noted that even with one unit on the 3rd floor and their computer on the 1st, they could copy a large file from a network-attached storage drive at very high speeds over the wireless connection. Our reviewer was quick to point out that their home is a common wood frame construction, and that performance might differ in a house built with denser materials like brick or cement. In fact, the local wireless speed was so fast that it was far more than what their internet plan could even provide, making it a bit of an overkill for just web browsing. However, the experience wasn't entirely smooth. This client ran into a significant issue when they tried to use one of the mesh units as the main router, connecting it directly to their modem, and then running cables from it to their other wired devices. This configuration caused the entire internet connection to choke, with websites sometimes taking 10 seconds or more just to start loading. Our reviewer wasn't sure if this was due to the unit overheating or being overworked. Their solution was to introduce a separate, inexpensive gigabit switch into the setup. By connecting the modem to the switch first, and then connecting the mesh system and all other wired devices to that switch, the internet became super fast again. Another performance quirk they observed was related to using the mesh nodes wirelessly. When a satellite unit wasn't connected back to the main one with an Ethernet cable, the file transfer speeds were essentially cut in half. They figured this was because the satellite unit had to use its wireless bandwidth to both receive data from the main router and transmit it to their computer, effectively splitting its capacity.
Fantastic. Now, let's see what insights our next reviewer has to offer.
This reviewer was in the market for a new mesh Wi-Fi router system because their old one was nearing the end of its security update lifespan. It's tricky figuring out how long these things will be supported, but after some digging, this client found a 3-pack from Linksys that seemed promising, with updates guaranteed for a good while. Our reviewer was a little surprised by the size. This router is pretty tall, around 10 inches, supposedly to improve range. They used all 3 units to create a mesh network covering their half-acre property with a house, shed, and barn. Coverage is solid, definitely on par with their previous setup. Performance is good too, as it's a Wi-Fi 6 router, and so far, connection reliability has been excellent. This client has a ton of devices connected, everything from smart lights and sprinkler systems to phones, tablets, laptops, streaming sticks, and smart TVs. Almost everything connected without a hitch, except for an older Vizio TV, which might just be too outdated to handle the newer Wi-Fi. but this reviewer easily solved that by running an Ethernet cable to the nearest router. Setup was a breeze. The free configuration app was easy to use and the instructions were clear. The configuration options are decent, maybe not quite as detailed as their old TP-Link, but good enough for their needs. They definitely recommend enabling automatic updates for the best security. Overall, this seems like a well-priced and reliable router that should provide great service for years to come. Highly recommended.
If this video helped you out, give it a like and hit subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.